Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the
Literalist Reactions.
I hope you get a kick out of watching it.
Hello, fellow humans.
There he is.
I'm Dave. With me, as always, my good buddy John Doe. You know, I realized I have not done that in like 9 videos.
Hello.
I think I just forget to introduce it. I think it's because in my brain there's like words saying it here and over there, and it's down there.
Oh,
But-
I'm Literalist Dave.
yeah.
This is my music lover friend, John. Yeah. You think
it's
it's all obvious, don't you? But
it's
what
so
about
obvious.
the who have vision problems who listen in? What about them, huh, Dave? Huh?
You know what? That's fair, John. Yeah, I don't have a rebuttal. I did not think of our vision impaired friends. That is just an actual good point, and I hate it. I hate that you made. I hate that I'm agreeing with you. I hate all of this.
Yeah.
What do we got today?
Hey, you know what? There's a term out there called striking while the iron is hot. And we very recently did the medley of rock tunes by Dream Theater, where you were tested to identify the rock tunes therein. You did a pretty decent job, I think.
I think it was like 60%.
Yeah, roughly. And so I said, listen, just to show, before we get into a lot of the Dream Theater world, and we get a whole bunch of requests on Dream Theater from that video, don't worry. But before we get to those requests, I just wanted to show you the 4 of the guys. You know, the band has changed up a little bit, but these are 4 of the guys from the band, and you get to watch all 4 because they remain on screen, and you can decide which, excellent musician you watch, at whatever point. This isn't what they call Instrumedley, the dance of the instruments. So just let it roll and just enjoy the amazing playing, and pay particular attention to some of the instruments, which are fascinating and fun.
All right.
You might need to roll that up a little bit. I don't mind if you cover my face.
Turn my volume up.
Yeah, right?
It's so accurate.
Note the shoegazing. I'm thinking CGA. There's no way. CGI, I mean. There's no way that he just did that. Hey, pause there.
All right. I have to say, as impressive as the playing itself is, and it is mind-blowing, their inner metronomes are so spot on and in sync. That is as impressive to me as their actual playing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. To try and even tap that beat out with the most basic of two hands, you can't do it.
Well, yeah. Well, and it's not even just that. Like, they have complete stop and half quarter full measure restarts.
Right.
And they're all completely in sync. 100% spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you may have noticed the guy on the keyboard, unlike our buddy Rick Wakeman and others, he's not surrounded by a bank of keyboards. He
Also,
just has...
wait, lack of sequin cape, and I gotta say, it's a knock. It's a straight knock on Dream Theater.
1 point off for the lack of cape, but obviously he's getting ample variety of sounds out of the one keyboard he's got there. And I don't know if you noticed, but he walks around because it's on it's on like a turntable, and he can spin the whole thing all the way around. And he does. He walks around it. You know, he does some really neat stuff with it. Also, the lower left window there, you see the bass player. I don't know if you can, but try and... How many strings are in a bass guitar, Dave?
It's supposed to be 4.
Yeah, look carefully at that.
Is that a 5-string bass?
Tell me...
6-string bass?
Yeah.
That looks like a 6-string bass.
It's at least 6. It might be 7. I'm not sure.
I know his fingers are flying up. He's not just using the top string, you know.
Right. Right. The joke, yeah. The top 2 strings. I know what these two do. So there you go. So that's... And then on the drums, I'm a huge fan of Mike Portnoy. He is an amazing drummer and just a jovial, good guy fella.
I gotta say, here we go. I just want to get back into it.
Yeah, go. Just trying to get that point back from you. He's tapping on a bass.
the drummer just changed seats so he could reach a different set of drums.
Yes.
And did you catch a minute ago when I've never seen a triple solo. Like all three of them, the guitarist, the bassist, and the keyboardist, they all played a solo, but they played the exact same notes at the exact same time.
Yes, and you actually you have seen it before in Rush. We didn't really point it out then. We weren't quite ready for that level of discussion at the time, but you have seen it. Rush do that kind of thing as well.
That's so cool. Here they go again.
How about
Oof.
that?
Oof. All right.
Oof.
That was absolutely incredible. That is some of the best playing I've ever seen in my entire life. And with a sense of humor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
They
know,
don't take themselves too seriously.
no, they'd pop in with they'd suddenly play chopsticks in the middle of
Yeah.
this virtuoso piece. But he didn't even just play chopsticks. I mean, he played an incredible rendition of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic to watch. I thoroughly appreciate the idea of just having all four musicians on screen instead of trying to go back and forth and doing their own thing. They just said, no, you decide, you look around, you can see all of us. And every now and then you'd have the fade in, and
Yeah.
one of them or usually two of them at a time would be featured. But I mean, overall, absolutely incredible. And that was just their instrumental. I'm very curious to see their lyric style writing.
It's you'll enjoy it. I mean, it isn't telegraphed in. It isn't faxed into you. You do have to kind of read through it a little bit, but we'll get to that. One minor correction: you said chopsticks. It wasn't chopsticks. It was heart and soul that he was playing.
Oh,
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
you're
boom,
absolutely
boom,
right.
boom, boom,
You're
boom,
absolutely
boom,
right.
Right. Because that came to mind after you said it.
Mhm.
So,
Chopsticks
aha,
is ding 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 ding
Right.
ding 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 ding
Right.
ding ding ding. Yeah.
That's correct. So we beat the comments on that one. Maybe.
Aha! Well done, John.
But yeah, I wanted you to just see why I appreciate Dream Theater. You're not going to get your bevy of pop sing-along songs, but you are going to get some very interesting musicianship, some very interesting time signatures, pieces, and some interesting stories and lyrics too. So I think it's, again, the full package, but you never heard of Dream Theater until we talked about it the other day. So it's another situation where, since it ain't using those same four chords that they've been making hits out of for the past 200 years, 3,000 years, who knows, it's not going to get radio play. It's not going to get that kind of support. Yet they draw a nice crowd, mostly of musicians, I have to say, probably.
I hear there was a third, like somewhere in the 300s, there was a bard that was doing real 15-minute long pieces on his lute. And yet it was just too soon. It was
yeah, probably. Yeah. So what you saw there was a medley of instrumental versions of songs they've done, and I believe they threw in some Liquid Tension Experiment, which is a side project. I don't know if all those guys are involved in Liquid Tension or not, but I know definitely a couple of them were.
I know that is a fun name for a band.
Yeah, it is. Liquid Tension Experiment. Yes,
good.
They put out a couple of records, and it was amazing. And there's some really top-notch players in that gathering of musicians. So anyway, there you go. There's some Dream Theater. It's a long song, so we're not gonna talk too much more about it. But is it a playlist? I don't know if it's a playlist or because it's an instrumental with all these different songs in it. This medley where it would fit in your world there. But you got to see these guys play, and hopefully that'll set us up for some future great music from them.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely listen to it again. If this came on, I'd crank it up. I cranked it up now.
Yeah.
I think I've said this in other videos before. Most of the time, if I start a song and I'm getting into it, and then you see me do one of these, it's because I'm turning up my volume.
Okay.
And then
All
I
right,
immediately
fair enough.
turn it down when you start talking. But
Yeah, of course, because I'm a loud and obnoxious person.
it's actually just more, listening to music and a voice are very different things. And then suddenly your loud voice in my head is a very different experience.
Yes, it is, and it causes nightmares.
Nightmares. It can only cause nightmares if I'm able to sleep in the first place.